Welcome to Winning on Wednesday. My name is Juan Vides, and the purpose is we're here to simply get to know each other. I always say people do business who they know, like, and trust. Winning on Wednesday meets at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and again, we're there to grow you, and our main focus is branding and marketing and promote people. Speaking of promoting, I want to introduce one of my good friends, a longtime friend, Marissa Allaben. How are you, Marissa?
Hi, Juan. So great to see you today.
Good. Thank you for being here. So quickly tell us about yourself. Give us the old elevator pitch, as they say.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So my name is Marissa Allaben. I am the director at Rolling River Day Camp, which is located in East Rockway, New York. The camp has been around since 1993. We serve over 700 kids a day and have over 300 staff. And we offer all-inclusive premium recreational programs for kids ages 3 to 15 for 8 weeks during the summer, as well as we host events, rentals, holiday camps, and a variety of other things, during the year as well for the community and for kids.
Excellent. Thank you. Now take us away back. Where did it get all started? Where were you born?
Awesome. Yeah, so actually, I am a native New Yorker. I grew up in Hewlett on Long Island. To my parents who are, from New York, as well. I have a brother and a sister. We really never even moved. We kind of lived here all of our life and stayed in New York. And I live in Oceanside now. So now I'm local on Long Island still.
Now, as a kid, did you have any ideas of what you wanted to become, or anything? So, did you have any aspirations of like any ideas?
Yeah, so I was the oldest, like I said, of three, siblings. My sister and brother are just a couple of years younger than me. And so I definitely like to be in charge of things, especially when I was younger. I loved
They used to boss
being
him
a
around.
director. Yeah, oh, I
Uh,
definitely did. I would start businesses when I was younger. I had a babysitting business. I loved the Babysitters Club. I was involved in theater. I was very active. I liked, playing sports as well. So, and my parents were involved locally. My dad was a phys ed teacher and dean in my school, in the local school. My parents were the ones who started Rolling River, as I mentioned. They bought the property in 1992. So growing up, it was interesting because I always had camp there and available, and it was always something that I thought about that I wanted to do. But I also, like I said, had these aspirations to own a business or be, in the movies, as a director in production or something like that. So I wasn't sure, but I kind of followed, obviously that road and those passions.
So, would you say your parents were your role model?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, again, they took this dream that they had and were able to start a business, from scratch and build it up to be one of the top camps on Long Island. It's an interesting story, actually. Camp goes back in my family for a long time. My grandparents met working at camp in the 40s at a camp called Stissing Lake right after the war, my World War II. My grandfather came back, wanted a summer that was relaxing, ended up working at camp and meeting my grandmother. And then my parents actually met in camp in the 70s at Camp Kent. They were working as, my mom was arts and crafts counselor. My dad was the athletics, director. And, it's the true, love story there. So it was just, again, cool because they started camp with this passion and years and decades of camp being very important in their lives, and just seeing how important it was, to kids. So the fact that they were able to take that passion from a business, really not having any business background, they were both educators, and be able to figure out how to not only start this business, but like I said, grow it to where it is today. They certainly are role models in my mind, and they still are.
That's truly amazing, and I know both of your parents. They're wonderful, great people, by the way.
Yes.
So
Wanda and
a
Mark,
bunch
they're
of right,
excellent. Yes, shout
yes.
out to them for sure.
Shout out to them, absolutely. And what about you? I know you talk about a couple of hobbies, interests. Do you have any other hobbies, interests? Because you talk about acting, you talk about sports. Any other things that you like to do?
Yeah, I think that I just, like I said, like to be active and on the go, a lot. So, growing up, I played softball and tennis. I definitely love to just travel and be outside a lot and be, in nature and just really kind of, like I said, on the go. I have two young kids, so it's definitely fun now being able to be active with them and, do all of their activities. Recently started playing pickleball. So that's obviously super fun. We put in a pickleball court at camp. So that's just a great way to just stay social and just, be busy and enjoy life.
That's awesome. And where'd you go to school, by the way?
So I went to Cornell for undergrad. I was a business and entrepreneurial major and marketing minor when I was at Cornell. And I did get my MBA at Baruch College also. So I ended up staying in the city, and I went there when I had a little bit more knowledge that I wanted to work in small business.
And what made you decide to go from, from that to what you're doing now? Can you just take us that journey of going through your first job and then what leaded up to Rolling River?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So when I was applying actually to Cornell, you have to write a college essay. And I wrote my college essay about camp and my experience at camp because it was so impactful for me, growing up at Rolling River and my experience at Sleepaway Camp, as well. So going into school, I always had in the back of my mind that camp was something that I wanted to be involved in. But when you're at school, you're open to all these other great opportunities, and you see everybody else working in these corporate jobs and things. So I decided that I wanted to not initially work at camp right after school because I wanted to try some different things. The first job that I had was actually at a company called Steve & Barry's, which doesn't exist anymore, but it was called Steve & Barry's University Sportswear. Their model was to basically sell initially college clothing for under $10. And
Wow.
they would do this in a variety of different ways. But one of the ways is that they would hire students right out of top colleges and put us into prominent roles, in their company. So when I decided to work there, and my first job was working directly for the CMO of Steve & Barry's on their celebrity lines, because they started expanding into celebrity brands. So I worked on marketing and photo shoots and retail promotions for Sarah Jessica Parker, Venus
Oh,
Williams, Stefan Marbury, Amanda Bynes. So that was kind of my first step into the real world of working in marketing and promotion. After that, I actually worked at an ad agency called Momentum, which focused on experiential events. So it was planning events for clients like Verizon and American Express, a lot in the sports world and fashion world. So I worked with the Patriots, with the Devils, and we were executing basically programs for these clients at sports venues. So it was a lot of event planning, I worked on the account management side, a lot of spreadsheets, organization, things like that. So I do think it served actually as a really great base for what I do now as a
I,
director. And it was also just a really fun, awesome experience to have when I was, in my 20s.
wow, that's yeah, that prepped you up. All that experience prepped you up to what you're doing now. That's truly amazing. Wow.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was great.
So speaking of that, I like to say this moment at the golden nugget moment. If there's any valuable piece of information that you want to leave behind, anything that to better somebody the career or be a better person, is anything you've learned from your journey? Is there any some examples you want to leave behind?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that especially for people who grow up in a family business, there's that it's not always pressure necessarily from the parents or the grandparents that are there, but you always feel that you're tied, to the business because that's where you grew up and that's what you know. And I think that it's hard for people who grow up in that to make that decision to step away, even if it's for a little bit of time, to get some different experiences, have a different boss, see how people do different things, to travel to different places and see how different cultures and different things, that way. So I think that was, I think an important thing that I learned, that even though I wanted to do it, it really was essential for me to have those other opportunities to be able to bring that back and kind of also appreciate what I have here, and what I have, now. Also, really, what I kind of learned is even though those experiences were great and a lot of fun, at the end of the day, you have to do what you're passionate about, and you have to love going to work and getting up every single day, and what you're doing, even if it's maybe not the same amount of money that you might make, in a different industry. So I've definitely realized that when I did make the change to come back and work at camp full time, every day I get up smiling. I never say, I don't want to be at work. It's just such an enriching, fun place to be able to work with my family now, to be able to give back to the community and to the kids, and just see how happy they are and how much we've changed their lives. It's just something I'm passionate about. And I think that's important in other people's journeys when they're going through their careers, to find what they're happy about, what's going to make, and what's going to make them happy every day, going to work.
I couldn't agree more. But having that real life experience definitely preps you up. And for those parents that own the small businesses, don't be scared. Your kid may come back one day.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that a lot of the parents, rely sometimes on their kids, assuming that they're going to come back. But I think having those other experiences is just going to make it better for them and make it better for the business as a whole. Because small businesses are the backbone of the whole entire country, and
yes,
support local businesses and their communities, because they're the ones who are employing everyone, around the area.
And I love how you said that, the passion that's, when you love to do something, it doesn't feel like work. You don't have to work for the rest of your life ever again because you love it. You know what I mean? You don't mind waking up, and you don't mind this. To me, I love it. That's why I like technology. For me personally, it's a passion for me. So I know people get scared of technology. I'm like, no, this is how it works. And this is hey, I show people how to use AI and all this stuff. To me, I love it. It's just the passion, information. So, but some people are different. But thank you for sharing that. That's excellent. Thank you. And so now we're going to talk about the spheres of influence. Do you belong to? I think you mentioned to me. I know you, but other network organizations or groups or communities. I know that you belong to a couple of camp organizations, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So summer camp is really a huge industry, obviously, especially in the tri-state area. It's way more than just, childcare. There's really a lot of skills and friendships and things that, kids and staff obviously learn from camp. So one of my passions is to be involved, obviously, with organizations that help to build up the camp community and be able to spread the word of the importance, of camp and kids going to traditional, day camp experiences. One of those organizations is called LICAPS, Long Island Camps and Private Schools Association. I'm actually the incoming president for that right now. And it's basically, about 25 of the top camps, on Long Island. We work with also Rockland Westchester camp to really meet every couple of months to see what's going on in the industry, get a pulse on what's happening in everyone's community, and really come up with ways to spread the word about the importance of camp and, like I said, why kids and staff, should be able to work there. So I'm definitely involved with that. The American Camp Association is basically the governing, and not really the governing board, but networking, and basically helps to organize all camps, in the country and around the world. They host a lot of local conferences. One of the conferences coming up is a conference specific to day camps. So I'm on the committee to help, plan that. In addition to camp, obviously, we see thousands of people every single summer and just through the years at camp. So we really try to do things to give back to the schools. We host a lot of the local schools for picnics, for any kinds of donations that they need. We work just with so many different places. We also at Rolling River do a Rolling River Gives Back Week every summer, and we focus on different charities that revolve around kids, because obviously that's what our business is. So we've worked with a variety of charities. This summer we gave a donation to the Fairy Godmother Foundation, which is local to New York, that helps kids basically in hospitals. Last summer we worked with David Tyree from the New York Giants to support his charity called Children of the City. So really we kind of switch off every year based on different themes, but it all has that common core of focusing on helping children or kids helping kids. And it's something important that we teach, obviously, our, campers and our staff.
it really takes a village, right? To
Oh
raise a
yeah.
kid. To raise a
Absolutely.
kid.
You have to teach them. Listen, it's a privilege to be able to go to camp. And I think that we need to teach them from a young age that not everyone has that opportunity. And there's ways that you can give back to your community, even if it's in a small way. We do a coin harvest, whereas we even say 1 penny can make a difference when you put a lot of pennies together. So every summer we do that as well, just to show the importance of, working together in charitable organizations.
Excellent. Now we leave the best for last. We're going to talk about Rolling River. So tell us about Rolling River. I know you mentioned a little bit about it, just to folks again, just to remind them again about who Rolling River is. So we're going to have you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So as I said, Rolling River is a family owned and operated local summer camp. Again, my parents, Ronza and Mark, started the business in 1993. And as I mentioned, I grew up, I was a camper here, I was a counselor. As I said, I worked in other organizations, and then I just couldn't be away during the summer. I would call and I couldn't speak to them because they were running around, doing all their things. And I was like, I want to be there. So I am so happy, obviously, with my switch. And, I've been the director on the leadership team, for the last 15 years now. I never looked back. As far as Rolling River goes, like I said, we are a private, all-inclusive camp program. And our mission at Rolling River is to embark on life's voyage. And basically what that means is that when kids or even staff come here, that we want to provide them with a supportive, adult supervised environment and expose them to a lot of different recreational activities so that they can figure out what they're passionate about and what their voyage is going to be in their life. There are a lot of kids who start at Rolling River where maybe they never played soccer before, and they try it here, and it leads them on a path of playing soccer and meeting friends, for the rest of their lives. So everything that we do at Rolling River revolves around that mission of exposing them to activities and, like I said, giving them a supportive environment. In that way, we host over 40 sports, arts, waterfront, boating, science activities for kids ages 3 to 15. So they receive a schedule that they follow when they're at camp. Everything is extremely organized, and it's very purposeful that they're doing when they're at camp, and it grows with them as they get older. So they get to participate in these activities. It keeps them busy and active. It's great for their physical fitness. They learn, like I said, we have STEM programs, educational, nature programs, cooking, nutrition, arts programs. So they are really getting to enhance their school experience by coming to a place like Rolling River to learn, even more throughout the summer. Obviously, also at the end of the day, it's about fun and friendships. And we really do a lot of things to foster friendships and create independence for the campers when they're here. And we clearly host incredible, memorable events. We have traditional, camp events like Color War. We host, themed events. So it's a very all-inclusive package that we offer, here when they're at camp. And we've heard from thousands of parents throughout the years, just the difference they see in their children from the beginning to the end of the summer, just in their personalities and the activities that they're trying. And it's just incredible to see that progress and see it throughout the years. The kids start at 3 and they're here still when they're 15, and just see how they've grown through the years.
And I just want to say thank you for having my kids at Rolling River. They're a wonderful experience, nothing but great things, my kids. And it's very memorable, even to this day that, Nate's a little older, he always remembers Rolling River, and it's always about that sweater, the 5-year sweater. They love the 5-year sweater.
5-year
Yeah. I gotta tell you something. Those kids wear it with pride, man. They're like, they're very proud of that 5 years. They're like, yeah, we did 5 years,
They are we're very lucky that we are locally based in the community. There's a lot of sleepaway camps that are, excellent also, but it's a little harder to physically get there. The nice part about our location is that we're able to host events throughout the whole entire year. And we also have a lot of other community things that we do, like sports rentals and, like I said, school picnics and birthday parties. And we host our own events like Fall Festival every year that's open to the entire community. So even if you're not here as a Rolling River camper, you could still experience the Rolling River, activities through a variety of other
Yeah,
ways.
those fall festivals are fun because there's a lot of, a lot of activities during those things. And it's nice because it gives that, things to do for the families, local families to do. And the fact that you guys are very community oriented, that's wonderful. And again, I can't thank you enough for my kids. My kids are so happy
Yeah.
they always look forward. Can I tell you, I'll tell you something. It's a true testament of what you guys do. My kids, it takes forever for them to get ready to go to school,
Yeah.
right? Camp, they have their suntan, they got their everything set
Yeah.
up. They're waiting for the bus out there. I'm
Yeah.
like, why couldn't you do this when you were in high school?
You make it, they want to jump on the bus and just come on
I'm
home.
like,
It's incredible. I mean, you see these people that, like the campers that come that are just so shy, in the beginning of the year, they don't want to leave their moms or dads or anything. And then by the end, they're crying that they don't want to leave, and it just, like you said,
it,
is a testament to the community and the
it,
family environment. It stems from our family. Like I said, my family still is involved. My brother and sister are directors, as well, Allie and John. And we all work here together and we love being here. And it trickles down, obviously
it,
from us.
And you know what? It develops new friendships too. Friendships that like because my daughter has friends in Hewlett,
Yeah,
so she has a
yeah,
good friend in Hewlett. So it's kind of nice that they branch out too because they're
yeah.
exposed to other local communities, not just Oceanside, but it's other communities as well. So it's kind of cool that it's like almost like a network. You're building it's camaraderie. It's a community. So it's kind of nice. Well, even when they leave with them,
Absolute. It's absolute networking. There are so many people that have said that they've gotten jobs from people that they met at camp, from friends that they have made. It's 100%. You're starting off with the importance of networking, which is what we're doing now at camp. That's the perfect place. And there's no other environment, including school, that does it the way that camp does it, because you're just not in those environments where you're going to be able to be supported to meet other people and be comfortable meeting other people in the way that you are at camp. It's just nowhere else
and
like.
and I gotta say this because I just saw this in social media, so I was just kind of blown away with the alumni. So you just had an alumni in Broadway. I was like, wow, that's so freaking amazing. And then you guys show the whole pictures and the journey. That's pretty. That just wow. I was like, wow.
Yeah, our alumni have gone on to do incredible things, and we still keep in touch with so many people. And it's great when we host alumni, events and things that they can come to. And we have a lot of alumni whose kids are here now, for the second generation. As like I said, we're going to be hosting our 33rd summer this year. So we have people that have come back that want their kids to experience the same thing that they experienced growing up. And you just have to, again, stay involved with the times, with the community, understanding the needs of the parents and the kids. And I think we especially saw since COVID how important, it is to have your kids socialize and to have them be out and be busy, and the importance of that. And I think the camp industry really took off, even from then, even again, just because you got a little taste of what it's like when they're not socializing and they're sitting home, all day. So it's just, it shows, like, again, the importance of going to camp and why kids should be at camp during the summer.
Definitely. Thank you so much. And big shout out to Mark and Rhonda. So thank you. So you
Yeah.
listening to Mark and
Thank
Rhonda? I
you,
gotta
Mark
give them
and Rhonda. You guys are
a
the OGs and the best, and it wouldn't be here without you. So it's
exactly.
still involved. So yeah.
But thank you so much for sharing your story. And if people want to get in contact with you, what's the best way to contact you?
Absolutely. So, like I said, we do, in addition to camp, we do so many other things throughout the year, and we really support our community when we do our festivals. We have a lot of local businesses that come with us, there. So if they want to get in touch, absolutely, you can email me directly at Marissa, Marissa, at rollingriver.com. I would be happy to speak to anyone about any of the things that, we're hosting at camp. And like I said, email is absolutely the quickest way to get in touch.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing your story again. And if you'd like to be a guest on Winning on Wednesday, simply go to our website, winningonwednesday.com, and sign up as a first-time guest. And we'll see you next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Juan.
Thank you.